Jia, we are live, we can start.
A very good morning to all the students, teachers, and judges present here today. I'm Jia Priyana, and I have the privilege of being your host today for the Nadar School Capstone Finale 2020. Change is call for innovation, and innovation calls for progress. Capstone, an initiative of the Shiv Nadar School, encapsulates the spirit of this saying by Li Keqiang. Faced with the negative changes in the form of social, economic, and environmental issues which have persisted or in some cases have been aggravated by the COVID-19 pandemic, our world needs solutions, new ideas, and a generation willing to implement these ideas. Capstone, an yearly initiative for grade 10 students of Shiv Nadar School across campuses, aims to provide an opportunity to students to express their interest and put forward their ideas to make a better society. A year-long student engagement program, it is marked by debates, conflicts, and collaboration. To see what Capstone is about, let's take a look at last year's projects.
Moving a manual wheelchair requires the user to apply a lot of pressure, causing pain in their neck and shoulders. The aim of Project Have a Chair is to make a customized, cost-effective wheelchair to help and support the physically disabled and senior citizens lead an independent lifestyle.
So the solution we proposed was to design a customized wheelchair which will be attached to a hoverboard.
Our aim is to develop and test a lightweight, portable, wearable, and a non-transmitting device which is capable of sensing fetal movements over extended periods of time.
While making the model, we made sure that we place the sensors accurately so the number of fetal movements are not missed.
So this is our belt. So instead of the abdomen support, we used a maternity belt so it could be actually worn by patients. What happened will, if a baby kicks, for example, Pratik applies force, just similar to that if a baby does. So see, as you can see, the meter has come to 8 as the baby when he or she kicks. So the count will increase similar to that.
Congratulations, fantastic presentation. Great idea once again. No, so I had a similar question around accuracy. Is there scope for false positives also, in this sort of?
So the thing is that the sensors that we're using, FSR sensors, they're very stable. So I don't think we will have any false positives.
अंधेरे में रह रहकर थक गए हैं. These are the words of Sushila from Mahadev's Basti. Even after the implementation of government schemes such as the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Jyoti Yojana, a majority of people living in rural India still don't have access to light. Our aim is to upcycle discarded PET bottles as solar lamps for people living in the bastis who are deprived of electricity. In order to implement our lamps in 400 houses, we required funding. Hence, we turned to the crowdfunding page called milab.org. Using it, we have successfully raised 1,38,580 rupees.
We are Team Positivity, a team of 6 passionate individuals who have one thing in common. We can listen to the animals and talk to them.
We visited the Sophie Memorial Animal Relief Trust, simply called the SMART, and Posh Foundation. When we reached there, we realized that there's much more to what we had imagined. This made us realize that we should do something for them.
Arushi, I'm glad that we were able to change lives of a few dogs like Elita.
She's 10 months old and she was barely 2 when she lost both of her front paws in a railway accident.
After all our hard work, we were finally able to create Dalna's prosthetic limb and provide her with something which would help her to walk and run freely.
Can you imagine a world with no sound? And even further, how would something like music feel? Would it even exist at that point? Being enthusiastic musicians ourselves, Ranbir, Reva and I, Steve, wanted to explore the possibility of an alternative way of experiencing music.
Enabling awareness of music, rhythmic perception for the people who cannot hear, while also about the rhythmic concepts within music.
It's almost like music and virtual reality.
I love the fact that this is great for private use because it needs to have input. But you gave an example of imagine going to a concert where one person can hear it and the other person can feel it. I see that to be a real problem because you need an input going into this device, and going at a concert they can't really provide that to you. So is there a thought process as to how you could do that part of it?
So right now what we're doing is we're using a Bluetooth for the device. We need to still implement like a battery pack inside it so that it can be self-sufficient.
So you've thought that out.
Yeah.
That needs to be your next one because I actually see this to have a product that can go commercial. It's a very interesting product. Well done.
90% of the plastic and trash polluting our oceans comes from just 10 rivers, according to the study by World Economic Forum. Out of the 10, 2 of them are in India, the Ganga and the Indus. They carry the second and the sixth highest amount of plastic to the oceans.
So our solution is to build an ROV that would go to the surface, subsurface and riverbed of the rivers to collect trash.
So these two ballast tanks over here, they use these motors again to fill in and throw out water in order to provide us buoyancy.
Water scarcity is a huge problem in today's world. And even though the government has launched certain initiatives such as the Jal Shakti Abhiyan and the Guru Jal project, its implementation has not been widespread.
Our aim is to conserve 100,000 liters of water in under 30 days.
We created a simple mechanical setup which can be easily mounted.
We have also installed 4 of our prototypes in the office of the Police Commissioner of Gurgaon. And today I'm very proud to say that we have conserved over 40,000 liters of water in just 15 days.
How much water did you save at Shiv Nadar school? How much were you consuming here?
It was right at the entrance gate. There's an RO purifier there for the guards. So I guess their daily usage varies from 15 to 20 liters per day.
285 liters.
So it's not across the school, it's been done at
not across
one
the school.
location.
Only one location.
Okay.
Because our school, majority of our wastewater goes to the STP plant because, again, it's a big unit. So, but we're basically targeting the micro units where water is wasted because they, when put together, amount to a huge amount.
I'm going to declare 2 and 1. Positivity comes in at number 2 and the winner is fluid force. First and foremost, I think just to Shiv Nadar School, for the fact that you've thought something like this out implemented it and done it like this. Congratulations, a big hand. I'll tell you the difference. It never comes down to the practicality of what you do out here. You have the product, you go out there and test it in the required market, you get feedback from it, you improve on the product, you get so many months to do it. So I think this must be about the only school in the country that does something like that, and that deserves a big hand.
But when you see the stuff that I saw today, that the kind of work that you have done despite your schoolwork, despite studies, sports, etc., it's so inspiring that the future is bright.
You know, as a company, we also fund startups. We do a lot of investing outside, and some of the stuff I saw here, frankly, deserves to be invested in more than some of the startups we actually end up investing in outside. Right? So if I don't know whether it's the right thing to say, but maybe some of you should be thinking of dropping out and starting your own companies at some point in time as well, right? But thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and all the best to all of you going forward as well.
We are glad to have a diverse set of judges here with us today. Though I doubt the need of introducing them, keeping in mind the procedure for such occasions, I'll proceed with the introductions. Our first judge is Mr. Varun Chaudhary. He is the Executive Director of CG Corp Global, a transnational conglomerate with a historical legacy of 150 years. He is the youngest scion of the renowned family which has its roots in Nepal and is today spread over 30 countries. With 76 brands, 80 companies, and with an employee base of 10,000 people, it is Nepal's first and only billion-dollar corporation that produces world-class products, brands, and services, and is a household name in many parts of the world. We also have Mr. Ajay Bakaya with us today. He is a savvy, informed, and pragmatic business leader with effective management skills in building loyalty through training and motivating staff, as well as creating benchmarks that drive visibility on an international scale for the hotel and hospitality industry. As Managing Director of Sarovar Hotels for over 25 years, he has played an integral part of the magical growth story of Sarovar since its early inception. Lastly, we are joined by Mrs. Raman. She has had interest in the education sector for a long time and is known for several pioneering initiatives in the sector. An alumna of IIT Delhi and IIM Calcutta from the 1990s, prior to founding CANTA, Mrs. Ramya was with the consulting firm McKinsey & Company for 15 plus years. She built and headed the firm's education practice in India in the last 5 years and worked in several other industry sectors and geographies ranging from India, North America, Europe, and Asia. Thank you, judges, for joining us today. I'm sure all of you are eagerly waiting for the presentations by the students. But before that, let's take a look at the rules or guidelines of the event. Each group will get 15 minutes to present their idea with an additional 5 minutes for the questions from the jury. The teams will be judged on a scale of 1 to 5 on the following criteria. 1. Relevance, that is skill and understanding of the problem identified. 2. Solution efficacy, that is understanding of various facets of the problem and effectiveness of the intended outcome. 3. Technology insight, meaning application of technology in the project context. And 4. Clarity of thoughts, that are judged through presentation structure and Q&A responses. I'm sure everyone is shaking with excitement by now. So let's start with the presentations. The first team presenting the ideas is Perpendicrop, who has designed a semi-autonomous product to nurture plants that one can grow for consumption. Perpendicrop, the stage is yours now.
Good morning to all jury members.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. We as a team started with the same determination. To make a big difference, we must start with a small step in the right direction. We looked around and saw a number of problems around us. But there was one thing that we saw every time we turned our heads. Whether it was in schools, colleges, playgrounds, offices, markets, everywhere we go, we see plastic wastes. That's always there, and perhaps will be for the next hundreds of years if we don't pledge to make a difference. Taking inspiration from the coronavirus pandemic, we saw many people try to change to healthier alternatives. But this change came at a cost. Many people started buying prepackaged salads, herbs, and other consumables. This not only increased plastic demand and consumption, but also increases one's carbon footprint. This in turn adds to the 300 million tons of plastic wastes produced annually. What happens if we don't start reducing our carbon footprints immediately? Global temperature is on a track to rise by an average of 6 degrees Celsius every year. These numbers will only start increasing at a rapid rate in years to come. Change needs to begin now, with you and I. And what better to start this at our homes? And hence, as a solution, we at Perpendicular came up with our product Caravay. Caravay is a semi-autonomous system assisted with an app and designed to nurture plants and to provide a healthier alternative to prepackaged food.
While making the design, we had to keep in mind that even though we have taken inspiration from vertical farms, our product has to be suitable for people's homes. Hence, it should not be large and cumbersome as most vertical farms in the market are. We wanted something that was small and portable, while also giving the customer the freedom to customize their Caravay as much as possible. So, to create the perfect model that is efficient, compact, and easy to use, we had to debate on a lot of different models. After nearly 10 updates, we designed and prototyped our model. Caravay comes in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. The small Caravay will have 1 tray, the medium-sized Caravay will have 2 trays, and the largest Caravay will have 4 trays. Each customer will have to choose the type of trays they would want while purchasing the product. The trays are a potted plants tray, a green leafy plants tray, and a microgreens tray. They can switch between whichever trays they would want to keep in the system. To have a complete product that is worth its money, we have incorporated many useful features. To emulate the sunlight as accurately as possible, not only are we using a sunlight LED, but also a light-dependent resistor that will determine the intensity of the light falling on it from the outside and thus decide the intensity of the LED. To control water flow, we will be using a solenoid valve. In order to help the solenoid valve, the water level sensor will determine the height of the water in the tank and the valve will open accordingly. The product is also very flexible and can be utilized according to our customer's needs. The user can decide which plants he or she wants to grow as well as which tray.
We have followed a very simple design ideology, that is making something that achieves its goal and is appealing enough that it sells itself. Making a model that would be compact and portable and not large as most vertical farms tend to be help us reach our goal. Achieving the right balance between the size of Caravay and the amount of plants it can grow was the hard part. At a height of 40 cm and a diameter of 35 cm, Caravay is about the height of a desk lamp, still allowing upwards of 20 plants to be grown at once. This makes it small enough to allow the user to place it anywhere in the house without taking too much space. We also have planned larger models that can fit more trays. These are still in the design phase. In the prototyping phase of this model, we check the viability of the design by 3D printing it using polylactic acid, commonly known as PLA. Once we are ready for the production of multiple Caraways, we plan on using recycled waste plastics. This fits into the larger goal of Perpendicular, that being trying to reduce plastic wastage.
With such a product, being able to track the growth of your plants from any place and at any time was one of the key features that we hope to achieve. Our main objectives were that the app should be easy to use, that it should provide information regarding the growth of the plant, and that it should give important notifications to the user, including when to refill the tank with water or when to recharge the battery. As our product offers several different trays, and our customers can purchase more than one Caraway, we aimed at designing an app that could track the growth of plants in all these models. With this objective in mind, we began the user interface. As our app evolved, so did its design and features. Over a span of more than 3 months, our app went through 3 completely different looks. Finally, we came up with an app design that allows the user to track the growth of plants in all of our models that they buy. The app will also give notifications regarding whether they need to fill water or nutrient solution into the tank. We will also create videos to guide them along every step of their journey while using our product. We hope to make gardening easy for everyone, regardless of how much of a green thumb they have. Now let's take a closer glance into the design of the app.
Upon opening the app, the user sees an interface divided into 3 screens, one for each system size. On each screen, the user can see a list of active systems. Details for each system are categorized into information, which provides immediate statistics, updates, which gives the user real-time input from the sensors regarding the release of water or the switching on of the LED, etc., and alerts, which gives the user warnings if any manual input is required by them. The user can switch between different systems, with the app displaying individualized information for each. Similarly, the app supports larger systems as well. Users can add a new system to be tracked by specifying a location and a name for each system, and can also choose from the 3 types of trays. The app will then begin tracking the newly added system. Lastly, the app will store this data under user profiles, allowing for access from various devices. The app also features a help page to provide video aid to the user, and a link to our website in case further assistance is needed.
We began developing 2 versions of the app. The first could be utilized as a finished product and is currently undergoing development in Android Studio, utilizing XML for the front end and Java for the back end. The second was a prototypical app with limited features designed in MIT's App Inventor to establish synchronization with the sensors being used in the prototype. The electronics of an Arduino board, which is connected to the sensors, which include solenoid valves to control water flow, a water level sensor, a pump, and a sensor to measure light intensity. The Arduino board is connected through the Wi-Fi to a server through a PHP script. The server is then hosting a web page which displays the values from the sensor. This web page is displayed within the app using a WebView component.
So, who are we targeting with such a product? Who are our target audience? You. Yes, you're right there. Irrespective of who you are, what you are, and where you are, this product is made for you. This product is your shortcut to the future. Our objective was to create the perfect product. It acts as a decorative piece and is aesthetically appealing. It is small and portable and does not take too much of space, and it nurtures plants till they grow. So, our product is based on our vision to help people grow fresh plants and vegetables from their homes, and slowly making a huge difference for mankind. So, what impact will we make with such a product? Here at Perpendicrop, we believe in making a meaningful impact in people's lives by helping them reduce their carbon footprint, fostering a sense of environmentalism, and helping them nurture plants, and also introducing a new alternative in the sphere of home gardening, one which is much smaller and portable. We were further inspired by the coronavirus pandemic, which has proven a need for a healthy immune system, one which will be achieved by eating healthy food and homegrown food. So let's see what our customers and some professionals have to say about our product. What are you waiting for? Get your own Caravay now.
Over to the jury member for their questions. Yes, Ajay sir, please.
Great thought, great idea, great presentation, team Perpendicrop. The question is, what sort of quantity can one grow if there's a family of, let's say, 2, 3, 4 people? What is the quantity one can grow over a period of time? Have you assessed that? And do you have any plans to show?
So basically for the quantity, so we have 3 types of different trays, and so basically the first type of tray is the microgreens tray, in which there are 3 beds, and each bed has an area of approximately 216 centimeter square. So basically you can grow any types of microgreens in that, broccoli microgreens, and all these different rosemary. And for then there is the leafy greens tray, which contains 17 pots in which you can grow 17 different leafy greens. And so basically for the nutrients for that, we have like a range in which all different types of leaf can be grown on that particular tray. And then we have the potted plants tray, which is basically house plants. So in that you can grow tomato plants. You can grow different types of plants, like even flowering plants and even plants for decorative purposes. So even for that particular range, in which all these types of plants can grow, which contains I think 7 pots.
Augustine, did you grow any plants?
Possibly, like for right now in the implementation, like we haven't really implemented into the model, like the growing stages of it. But
Yeah.
Yes, Ramya ma'am, you can unmute and ask your questions.
Sure. Yeah. So, firstly, great job, team. Fantastic work, and great to see this being implemented. Will probably buy it myself. Now, my question is regarding your problem statement. What is it that you are trying to solve for? Because you started out by saying that there is a lot of plastic waste, and you're seeing that everywhere. And it wasn't very clear to me whether you are addressing that, or is it a slightly different problem that this.
So basically, like during the coronavirus pandemic, people saw the importance of having a healthy lifestyle. So many people started to switch to pre-packaged salads, herbs, and other consumables. So this one included increased the plastic demand, pre-packaging, and what we are solving is one, we're going in the own plants, so that obviously doesn't need any plastic. That reduces a lot of plastic usage. And two, we are planning on our mass manufacturing. We are planning on doing that through recycled waste plastics. So for every product that we make, there's like a certain amount of waste plastics will be recycled. So our problems we are solving that problem statement in quite a lot of ways.
Uh, Hi. So, coming from a business background, how do you see the scalability of this product, and how do you intend to market it, or let's say make it visible? Because I'm sure there are products where, let's say, I remember when we go to a few of the hotels and stuff, we see a lot of vertical gardens. So, how do you intend to, let's say, counter the existing, somewhat aligned product portfolio, which is similar to what you're doing? I mean, I get the point that fine, it's recycled and you're trying to address the plastic issue. That should be the highlight of your showcase. But the whole idea is how, let's say, I think someone just said that you're looking at mass producing it, right? So before you mass produce it, you have to know your target market. You need to know where you're going to sell it. Do you have that plan in place?
Yeah.
Because
So
that's the most fundamental thing before even you look at mass producing. So just a word of caution, and that's my question to whoever is willing to answer that.
Yeah, so the market we're actually targeting is like I think Ramya, as she stated, she'd actually buy the product, right? So we actually consulted and we actually sent out a form to multiple people, right? And we saw that a lot of people or at their houses they actually want this, right? And this is typically middle class, right? We sent it out through our parents, we sent it out through the school, right? And we got an overwhelming response that, oh, if such a product existed, well, I would certainly buy it. And if you look at it, the people don't have enough time to look after it. That is where the autonomous part comes in, right? So if you look at hotels implementing this in hotels or resorts or that sort of thing, right? If someone has the time to look after their plants, then perfectly fine, right? But a lot of people don't, and that's the target audience for this product.
So you feel that there is enough room for scalability?
Yeah, I mean that's what we've done with our research, market research.
Okay, good. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Papendi Drop. That was a fantastic presentation. Now let's see how the audience feels about your ideas. I'd like to request the audience to refrain from using emojis during the presentations, as that can be a bit.
Thank you, team. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you, jury members. We'll move to team 2.
Now you're all requested to present your opinion in the form of a yes or no. Does Papendi Drop deserve to be the winner of Colloquium? Please answer by clicking on the polling option, which will be presented on your screen. Okay, so let's proceed with the second presentation. Please welcome the second team, which is Suit Squad. This team has developed a user-based prototype which helps to clean urban sewage and saves the lives of manual scavengers in India. Team Suicide Squad, the stage is yours.
A very warm good morning to all the jury members. All the jury members.
Best of luck, Team Seaweed Squad. We will now play a video. Thank you.
To start off our presentation, we have a short video to present.
The Supreme Court has ordered the abolition of manual scavenging and asked the government to provide financial assistance and rehabilitation to those who have lost family members to the inhuman practice.
These are a shocking reminder that despite stringent provisions in the law, manual scavenging continues unabated in India. The number of people killed while cleaning sewers and septic tanks has increased over the last few years. 2019 saw the highest number of manual scavenging deaths in the past 5 years. 110 workers were killed while cleaning sewers and septic tanks. This is a 61% increase compared to 2018, which saw 68 cases of such similar deaths. In 2013, the Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and their Rehabilitation Act put an end to the practice of any form of manual cleaning, carrying, disposing, or handling of human waste. But, according to a national survey conducted in 18 states, a total of 48,345 manual scavengers have been identified till January 31, 2020.
Greetings, jury members. My name is Palak and I'm the graphic designer for the team.
I am Anvi and I cover the programming part for the team.
Myself Bahar and I am the marketing strategist for the team. I also coordinate with Palak for the graphic designing.
My name is Sarthak and I am the team's prototype designer.
My name is Ansh and I act as the team's prototype engineer.
We are Team Seaweed Squad, putting an end to manual scavenging. Now Anvi will start with the research question.
Thank you, Palak. Our main area of focus for research is exploring whether we can create a technological solution to replace manual scavenging with something more enduring and sustainable for India. Now, Bahar will be apprising us of our project statement.
Our aim in this project is to create a machine to solve the problems of manual scavengers and save the lives of those people in India. Now, Palak would be presenting the padded walls our team has created.
Thank you, Bahar. To communicate some important parts of our project like our research work and history of manual scavenging, etc., we have taken the help of different padded walls. So in the first padded wall, we have summarized all of our research work and have attached all our research papers which we have read and analyzed. Each research paper has a brief summary attached to it for easy comprehensibility. In the second padded wall, we have prepared a brief historical analysis of all the laws and government schemes concerning manual scavenging in India. Here, we have created it in a timeline format for easy understanding. In the third padded wall, we have prepared a design work analysis where we have shown all the 3D designs we came up with while working on this project. Each has been attached with its advantages, shortcomings, and features. We have also briefly shown the reasons for moving on to different designs. Now, I would like Sarthak to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Palak. To better understand the plight of manual scavengers, we present to you small segments of our 3 interviews that we took over a con call with some of the sanitation employees at the MCD, also known as manual scavengers. These would help us understand some of the important issues being faced by them. तो छोटी छोटी गलियां क्या वहां पर मशीन जा पा रही हैं?
हाँ, ये तो छोटे गली में मशीनें नहीं आ पाती,
जी
लेकिन ट्रैक्टर पर एक जुगाड़ किया हुआ है मशीन का ही।
जी
हाँ,
और तो फिर सरकार इन लोगों के लिए क्या कर रही है?
सरकार तो जानती है, कुछ कर नहीं रही है और रोजगार खत्म ही हो रहा है।
जी
हाँ, बोलिए।
हाँ जी, ये जो हम मशीन कह रहे हैं, ये क्या कोई टेक्नीशियन वाला बंदा चलाता है या फिर कोई मैनुअल स्कैवेंजर ही चलाता है? मैनुअल स्कैवेंजर वही जो नाले के अंदर जाते हैं।
नहीं, ये देखिए एक्चुअली क्या होता है कि तो मशीन की जैसी टूटी होती है वो अलग होता है।
हाँ जी हाँ जी हाँ
इसको आप टेक्नीशियन बोल सकते हैं,
हाँ जी हाँ जी।
क्योंकि नॉर्मली फिर उसके बाद तो सभी को पता लग ही जाता है भाई कैसे चलाना है, इसको कैसे करना है, तो सभी चला ही लेते हैं।
जी, ये आप चेक कैसे करते हैं कि कितनी गैस है और कौन सी गैस है?
एक्चुअली जो सिंपल सा है, क्योंकि लेबर जो है वो मोस्टली अनपढ़ है, 8वीं 5वीं मोस्टली लोग हैं, नहीं तो ज्यादातर तो पुराने जो है अनपढ़ ही हैं, तो उनका एक अपना है कि वो ढक्कन उठाएंगे, ढक्कन उठाने के बाद क्या तो उसको 2-4-5 मिनट ऐसे छोड़ने के बाद तिल्ली डाल देते हैं।
जी,
जो एक जो अननोन टेक्निकल, लेकिन क्या उससे पता लग जाता है अगर एकदम गैस होगी तो उसमें फायर आती हो जाती है। एकदम ऐसे जैसे हम कभी गैस खुला छोड़ देते और तिल्ली ऐसे फेंके तो गैस उड़ती है ना एकदम ऊपर।
हाँ जी हाँ जी हाँ जी।
Thank you, Sarthak. Now, after taking into account the problems faced by the manual scavengers, we present to you the main cause of scavenger deaths. In other words, the presence of harmful sewer gases such as hydrogen sulfide, carbon monoxide, methane, and ammonia. Here, we have discussed the harmful effects of each gas in brief. Now, we will be discussing the sewer gas research. So here I have shown the data analysis for the research study we had conducted for the gas carbon monoxide. This was the first gas for which we had conducted a conclusive study. Moving on, now we present to you the data analysis of all the other gases for which we have conducted a conclusive study. As you can see here, using the serial plotter on Arduino, we have been able to plot all the values of these gases in ppm. Looking at the permissible limits of each gas, for hydrogen sulfide it is below 20 ppm, for ammonia it is below 300 ppm, for methane it is below 1000 ppm, and for carbon monoxide it is below 10 ppm. Different colors on the graph represent different gases as per the key on the graph.
Thank you, Ansh. We started the work for our first model by making a blueprint. We thought of making a clawbot design which can help us grapple the sewage objects and break them down at the same time. You can see the different parts of the robot here in the sketch format. Next, for our first model, we continued our designing phase by making a 3D design on Autodesk Maya 2080. Here are the general labelings for the same. As you can see in the overall design, the core of the model consists of all the electronic and programmed components. We mainly have the clawbot and jet mechanism for cleaning the sewage.
After working on our first model and in the process of implementing it, we realized that the design and mechanism lacked in some aspects and did not present a real alternative to the other sewage cleaning machines that have been employed in India. Further, we had been working on a design which is rather complex and would be difficult to use if implemented as a user-based product. Lastly, this design did not solve the problem of sewage cleaning machines not being able to enter narrow lanes, which is the case scenario we are tackling. Therefore, after complete deliberation and a few more rounds of discussion, we decided to move on to another model which satisfied 3 objectives. 1. It should be simple to use and make the entire process of cleaning sewage easier and more comprehensible. 2. It should be cost effective and not resemble any of the current heavy-duty industry-grade sewage cleaning machines. 3. It should provide an alternate employment to the manual scavengers. With these things in mind, we started design work for the same. Now, Sarthak will be continuing the presentation.
Here, we present to you the 3D design of our new solution to the problem of manual scavenging. As you can see, we have integrated a user-based interface which consists of an LCD screen and a button layout. Moving on, we present to you the explode animation of our second model. This roughly tells us about the different parts of the design in detail. Ansh will be taking over.
Okay. Now we have a short demonstration video which explains the 4 stages of the working of our tech solution. Greetings jury members, this is the working demonstration video of the group Civet Squad. As you can see, here we have a working prototype, and first of all, to describe this, we have a button layout and an LCD screen. The LCD screen is being used to display the gas detection values of the gas sensors to check the presence of sewer gas. The button layout is to control the various functionalities such as the turning off of the jet mechanism, the turning on and off of the camera, and the turning on and off of the blade system, which cuts the sewage. So here you can see in the bottom side of the prototype, there are 2 T-shaped extensions and 1 L-shaped extension. The L-shaped extension has the blades which cut the sewage. This extension has an LED panel and the camera. The LED panel is there to provide the light for the camera since it is dark inside the manhole. Here we have the gas detection system as discussed earlier, which we will be using to detect the presence of sewer gas. So to talk about the sewer treatment process, the first stage in this is the gas detection system. With this, as explained previously, we are able to detect the 4 sewer gases, which is ammonia, carbon monoxide, methane and hydrogen sulfide. So here on the LCD screen, we have the values of these gases in ppm. As you can see here. To start off with the second phase of the sewer treatment process, we will be first starting with the audio manual, which is right here through a speaker.
आने वाले अनुदेश सीवर की सफाई के सबसे पहले चरण का वर्णन देते हैं। अगर आप हाँ का बटन दबा देते हैं तो कुछ अनुदेश सुनाए जाएंगे। अगर आप नहीं का बटन दबा देंगे तो अगले चरण के अनुदेश सुनाए जाएंगे।
As you can hear from this, we have created this audio manual for the better understanding of this prototype and an easy to understand manner. After the completion of the first audio manual, we have the first functionality of turning on the camera for the sewer treatment. As you can see from the LCD screen, after I turn on this camera button, in this button layout, the camera will start with an audio script.
यह पीले रंग का बटन मशीन में लगे कैमरा को चलाने के काम आता है। इससे आप कैमरा को चलाने और बंद करने का कार्य कर सकते हैं।
Moving on to the second phase of sewer treatment, now we'll be employing the use of the jet mechanism, which uses water to lacerate the large sewer particles. So as soon as I press this blue button on the button layout, an audio script will work. Now this audio script was to guide the manual scavenger, and as you can see here, the water, for the purpose of this demonstration right now, is able to break down some of the mud, and if I press stop, it will stop the mechanism. To begin with the third stage of sewer treatment, after lacerating the sewage particles with water, now we'll be using cylindrically connected metallic blades. First an audio script will be played.
यह नारंगी रंग का बटन धातु के ब्लेड्स को चलाने के लिए प्रयोग होता है।
As again, this was to guide the manual scavenger or the person operating this robot. So once I press this button, I'll be able to start the blade. As you can see here, I'm able to cut the mud after using the jet mechanism, and I can also stop this system just like here. To start with the fourth and final phase of sewer treatment, now we'll be using the functionality of the suction pump. So as you can see here, first an audio script will be played.
यह बैंगनी रंग का बटन सक्शन पंप को चलाने के काम आता है।
So again, this was to guide the manual scavenger or the person operating this prototype. Now as soon as I press this, the functionality will start, but however for the purpose of demonstration, we are not able to demonstrate this because we cannot suck out any mud. Thank you.
Thank you, Anj. So the total cost of our prototype is ₹6,000.
Thank you, Bahar. Here we have presented some key points which highlight our future scope for this project. Firstly, we will be aiming towards completion of testing in the refinement phase by December, where we will be looking towards implementation of both the gas sensor system and second model for cleaning the manholes. Secondly, based on the outcomes of our testing, we might be inclined towards perfection of certain case scenarios in the context of manholes and septic tanks. For example, we will be first be working towards implementation in manholes which have closed and maintained lids, and then moving towards worst case scenarios where either the lid has been stolen and sold as scrap metal, or the lid itself is broken, thus making the entire process a bit tricky. Thirdly, we would first be looking towards implementation in our localities, taking help of the MCG and the JAL board to help us with the same and also provide us invaluable feedback once we implement it with them. We have also been able to connect with some NGOs for the same, but the talks are still going on. Lastly, we will be looking towards creating an alternate employment opportunity for the managed scavengers, since after our tech solution is implemented in India, the managed scavenger will no longer have to continue their disgraceful and undignified occupation. Instead, we could create an alternate employment for them in the form of manufacturing this robot and being involved in the entire process.
Thank you, Suraj Scott, for the remarkable presentation. Now the jury can ask questions to the team members.
Hi, I have a pertinent question. So, as one of our groups, EPC Vertical, we are also doing one such project in Indore. It's a sewer treatment project. So there's a product called Gobbler. I don't know if you're aware of it. Gobbler.
We have heard the name.
Yeah, so Gobbler is already in the market, I think available at 5,000, which does exactly, if not exactly, something similar to what you guys have come up with. Okay, number one. Number two is, I mean, I would definitely want you to at least look at what this product is, so that you know what you're getting into. It's a great initiative. This is something, which is also very noble in terms of overcoming the cruel human aspect, the whole sewer cleaning. So number one is take a note of Gobbler. It's a product which is available in the market. Number two is in terms of the depth, because you've got your sensor, you've got your cameras, uh, to what level of depth can this go? Because you see the sewer line, I think your machine, I don't know whether it will be able to penetrate to the level of the cleaning, or let's say detection is required. So why don't you check that? And number three is industrial waste is also another big havoc. So is this applicable to industrial waste as well?
So if I were to answer the question, so the second question talks about how much of the depth can we cover.
Yeah.
So in this prototype, because this is referencing for our final product, this is not our final product actually. This is, we have made this using the resources we had, and this is not an industrial grade prototype. But if I specify how much then this can go, so the pipe that we have used, the PVC pipe, it is about 1 meter, which is about 3 feet. So if you look at the manhole statistics or the types, there are two types, which like there's the 2 to 3 foot and the one which is more than 3 foot. So sometimes the manholes also go on to 6 feet, which means that you have at least 2 meters extension. And in terms of the third, if you could repeat the third question, please.
No, is the prototype that you've created, is the use in the industrial application as well? Because this is more of a human waste, is what I'm able to comprehend.
Yes, sir. If the sewer, if we say that they're industrial wastes as well, we have been discussing about that as well. But right now, this miniature cannot target industrial waste. However, later on for our final product, we'll be also considering some organic chemical polymers, which can help us to further break down the sewer components or the sludge if industrial waste is also present. Right now, for this miniature, we are only targeting the human waste or the less easier kind of waste which can be tackled.
Okay. I can ask probably my project manager who's looking after my project to make use of one of your equipments if it's available, to see the effectiveness if it's okay, so that I can give you my practical feedback as well on the ground.
Surely, sir. Because we have to yet test this, because until and unless we build up our because this has to first go to the manual scavengers.
Exactly.
They have to test it out in the sewers, and then after getting that feedback, I think we'll be able to work on the final product, which will be of the industrial grade.
Exactly. So that's why I'll connect you with one of my team, and why don't you work with them to probably see the practical application of it, if it needs to undergo some changes,
Surely, sir, that will be a great opportunity for us.
Okay.
Taking this project forward. Yes.
Team Seed Squad, can you hear me? Am I audible?
So your voice is coming a little low. If you could do something with that. Yeah.
Is this any better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You use a lot of component parts. Have you given thought to what all can possibly go wrong with the component parts? And if I buy this unit, what would I have to carry as inventory of spare parts?
So to answer that, we first figured out that there might be a problem that the blades which we are using, because we are using only one type of blades here. What we want for our final product is that we use a diverse set of blades. For the component parts, you might encounter that the blades might get stuck during the sewer cleaning in the sludge while cleaning it. So for that might be one problem. And for that, basically we'll be creating a button layout with which you can release the blade, pull out the system, implement another type of blade, and then pull that one out as well. So that's one problem you might encounter. Second problem that you might encounter with this product is that if you look at the gas sensing, it might go wrong sometimes because it is not accurate. Because these gases such as methane and ammonia, these are very hard to detect, and we were only able to do this under school lab conditions, because hydrogen sulfide and carbon monoxide are very hard to detect under school lab conditions. So once we test it with a scientific lab, which are used by higher organizations, then only we can assure you of the accuracy of the gas sensor. So I believe that those are the two problems that might be faced. Thank you, sir.
Ms. Rama, ma'am, do you have a question for the team? Okay. So she might be facing some technical issues. We can move on to the next team then. The next team presenting the ideas is eSanitarios, who has created a product which effectively sanitizes online delivery packages in a safe and secure manner. Over to you, eSanitarios. Thank you, team.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. You're back. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now. Sorry, I think you could not hear me for the previous team, but that's okay.
Yes.
0 2 यहाँ 4 वहाँ पर स्क्रीन में भी आ रहा होगा एक बार क्रॉस चेक कर लेना
Greetings to one and all present here. Nothing is more permanent than change. And to deal with this change, one must adapt, create, and innovate. Introducing you all to the Egg Box by eSanitarios. In these 12 minutes, Arv, Ananya, Naomi, Palak, and I, Anna Mitra, will guide you through this journey up to the virtual colloquium. Let us look at the problem statement through a video. Finally, my order has been placed. Yay, my parcel is on its way.
Hello, is anyone there?
Oops, no one is at home.
What to do now? Hello, ma'am. I'm here from Amazon.
Oh, hi. I'm so sorry. I'm not at home. I'm outside.
Then to whom should I give your delivery?
Give it to the guard then.
But ma'am, the guard is refusing to keep because of the society protocol. Should I give it to the neighbors?
No, the neighbor is too unpredictable. No worries. Just take the delivery back then. Yeah, my delivery has come. Let me take it cautiously. Oops, no! Corona!
What if no one is at home? In this situation, will you still give your parcel to others and expect them to sanitize it and keep it away from the virus?
You must be wondering, How is this even a problem? The delivery guy will come tomorrow, right? But let us look at this through video from the lens of the customers and the deliverers to understand the depth of the problem.
We were out for a travel. We were on a trip, and I ordered something for my baby who's just 2 years old. So this Amazon guy came for delivery, and this was his first attempt since we were new to the building, so we didn't know the neighbors well. And the security guard wasn't there at that time at the main gate. He went into some other flats or something. So this delivery boy called us, and we told him we are not there. So he took the parcel back with him, and then the next day delivery was reattempted, and we were still not there. So the parcel was back to the seller.
आप कितनी डिलीवरीज एक दिन में रिटर्न करते हैं?
15 से 20।
अच्छा, और ये डिलीवरीज सबसे ज्यादा कौन सी डिलीवरीज रिटर्न होती हैं?
जैसे घर बंद रहते हैं.
In the survey we conducted, the majority of the people said they faced a problem when they received deliveries and were not present at home. And they would prefer having a sanitizing device placed outside of their houses to receive such parcels. Using this information, we made the device to cater to our target audience's needs. 61% of the people face such a problem, and about 93.5% would prefer having such a device outside of their houses.
According to the Times of India, nearly 4 lakh shipments are delivered across the country every day, and 25% of them are returned, making it a growing concern for the e-tailers. The returned goods push up the average cost of delivery by 50%, adding on to the woes of the e-tailers. So, the total loss to the e-tailing industry only due to shipment cost of returns stand at close to 330 crore per year.
The e-commerce companies and the e-commerce sites have tried to combat this very problem by introducing expected date of delivery and by giving the option to the customers to choose the address at which they want the delivery to be delivered. In addition to that, these sites have also given an option for the customers to choose the delivery instructions. These are some of the solutions that these companies have tried to find out. But we have a very interesting data that actually drove us and motivated us to work towards the solution.
We tried connecting with some e-commerce and delivery companies to collect some data and found a person who was willing to share with us some insightful statistics. The same person requested to keep their identity as anonymous. After collecting the data, we discovered that 70% of deliveries are successful after 3 attempts are made to deliver them. And out of these, 18% are given to the neighbors or guards. Furthermore, the 30% of deliveries that are unsuccessful are caused largely by the customers not being at home to receive them.
The e-sanitarios wants to make the delivery experience safe, secured and hassle-free with none other than a red box.
When our journey began in March, India had just got acquainted with coronavirus. We decided to pick that up as a problem and build a device around that. We originally thought of making a sanitizing conveyor belt, but then we realized that a parcel receiving sanitizing device would cater to a larger audience. We've had countless online meetings to make the product design more accessible to the audience. Now, let's look at the features of a product through a video.
For all your parcel hassles, we bring to you the one and only Ed Box. This box is safe and secured, which automatically opens when an OTP code is entered. This helps the parcel to be delivered properly and also increases the safety and security of the said delivery. Our box has an automatic opening and locking system. This box is controlled by a phone which has the customized app of e-sanitarios. This helps the delivery status of the parcel to remain in contact with the user of the app. Our product has far UV light that sanitizes the deliveries that come from outside. In addition to that, we also have a timer that sanitizes the product for a designated amount of time.
We also have GPS and anti-theft features, which add another layer to the security of the device. With this, we can also make sure that the product isn't being mishandled by anyone. We have made wedges with wood on the opening end of the product that makes the slide region a blind spot, thereby ensuring that the deliverer does not have view and the access to the other parcels put inside. On the side of the blind spot, we have a collecting down, which is only accessible to the owner of the device, and this ensures a safe passage for the deliveries to be collected.
Hey, remember this diagram?
Yeah, I remember this so vividly.
I remember thinking, how will we do all of this?
I think we just underestimated ourselves. We completed all of these processes of connecting, discovering, ideating, creating, and evaluating in the blink of an eye.
I remember enjoying the connecting process a lot. Connecting with the general public, the delivery guys, and even the e-commerce and delivery sites was rather amusing. I enjoyed knowing about their side of the story.
I also loved the discovering process. Trying to establish our own unique solutions by comparing multiple solutions helped us set our product apart.
Remember the ideating part though? Deciding on the features and design of our product, organizing which materials to use, and the electronics behind it.
Everything seemed to be right in order at that time. All we had to do then was the assembling and the creating part to finish the product, testing the prototype in cardboard, and finally taking a call to use wood. It would have been impossible without the aid of the carpenter and the school faculty in general.
Yes, indeed. But don't forget about the evaluating journey. Surveying the target audience and getting the review, insight, and opinion was the backbone of this project.
It was indeed. I think all the processes were equally important, honestly, and I still feel we have a long way to go.
Me too.
Well, I feel that this device is an excellent idea, especially in considering the quality. I can go up to 6,000 maybe, but I think 5,000 will be a good price.
This is definitely a brilliant idea and something which I would like to have.
In these difficult COVID pandemic times, or even otherwise, I think it is a very interesting idea to have a smart box or a safe box installed right outside your doorstep. I'm very much interested in having such a box.
I think it is very much required, especially in this pandemic era. And even if it's not pandemic, we get so much stuff from outside, and we're not even sure like how many hands have touched those things. So it would be always good to get them inside and to get them sanitized before using them. So it's always a healthy habit, and be pandemic or be not pandemic, I guess this is a very nice idea, and this is a need of an hour.
In my opinion, I really think that this product is quite helpful because I have elderly people living in my home, and especially during this time, their safety is my number one priority, and I wouldn't want to compromise it for anything else. And even after COVID, I would like to use this product because I am germophobic, and it'll be quite useful for me for my day-to-day life.
This product is required the most, and if a simple investment of 6 to 8k ensures that all my packages are safe and sanitized, then I think that this is definitely worth it.
Let's look at a glimpse of our journey through a video.
people. We would like to say a heartfelt thanks to our school, our mentors, the people who filled out our surveys, the delivery guys, the anonymous stir, and the carpenter, and the jury members and audience watching us now. Thanks for taking your time out and attending this presentation. We hope you have a nice day.
Thank you, Insanitarios. That was a truly innovative idea. The floor is now open for questions by the jury.
Uh, sure. Ajay, why don't you go first? Number one is how do you address the security challenges? There could be an issue of theft. What if someone just comes and steals the box itself?
Can I answer?
Please, please, please.
Okay, just a second, I'll just share my screen right now.
No, you can. Okay.
Is my screen visible? So basically, we have a GPS traceable system. So like if someone tries to take our box away, we can track it through the GPS installed in it. Also, we have an inbuilt anti-theft alarm. So like if there's a greater distance between the wall and between a product, and like if someone tries to take it away, then the alarm would automatically ring and we'll get to know if someone is trying to take it away. Also, when we will make the final product and when we will sell the market, it will be made using a good quality wood which is heavy in weight, so like it wouldn't be like that easy for someone to take it away.
The OTP pin which you will generate, it will be sent to the, let's say if Amazon is delivering, it will be sent to his mobile and he punches it in, right?
I'll just show you an example. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is our app and I have generated an OTP right now.
Okay.
So the OTP says 4802. So this OTP I can generate at any time and then I can send it to the Amazon delivery guy. And then, for example, when he comes, this is our prototype. When we generate the OTP,
And can you please stop sharing your screen so that you're more visible?
yeah, 1 second. Is it fine? So this is our product, a prototype. So it says 4802. You see, this has automatically opened, and then after 20 seconds, the UV light will turn on, and then the product will get sanitized. Yeah. Oh, is it visible?
Okay. No, I got the drift. Okay. No, very good idea.
Thank you, sir.
Team, question is, what is your target audience? And if it's a mass audience, can we simplify it further but not using an app, etc.? Can it simply be box, I put in the stuff, sanitize and take it out? Why do we need the app? Why are we complicating things?
So our target audience is nuclear families, because in nuclear families, like there are around 3 people or 4 people, and sometimes both the parents are working and people are not at home, and that's the thing with bachelors and working people also, that they get a lot of deliveries, but they are mostly not at home. So this product will be useful for them. Also, we are planning to aim at old people as their security is is a bigger issue, and then obviously we would want uh, and they are also vulnerable to a lot of diseases and problems. And as you saw in our public opinion video, the girl who talked about living with her grandparents and also being germophobic, we're also aiming to aim at that those people.
Adding to that, I would also like to state we are also aiming singles. The singles are the ones who are actually working, and often they're not at home, and thereby they're in a need of this product. One of our survey that we conducted also stated that.
In addition, the OTP system, I think it's a good idea because we can generate the OTP anytime, and then the delivery, we can just send the OTP to the delivery guy, so like he can come at his convenience and then just deliver the parcel to us.
Thank you.
Can you uh, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
Yes,
we can
ma'am, we
hear
can.
you.
Can you
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
me?
Great. Yeah, so question to the team. You have obviously spoken to people who have said that they would like to use this product. Have you come across any skepticism in terms of whether it is really needed and whether the way deliveries get managed today largely works for low value deliveries, which anyway constitute majority of the deliveries. So very few deliveries are high value. So have you heard any skepticism from people on the need?
Yeah. I would just like to state, can you put on the slide on which we've put on the complaint of the product?
Yeah, one
Yeah.
minute.
And then going on to the statistics about the product. Yeah, so this is one of the complaints that an e-tailer who was a customer actually made this problem. This is a craftsman who actually had designed his product and he had marketed this on Amazon. And this is the complaint that he has said that the parcel is constantly coming back to him since the people are unable to take it because the people are not at home. And thereby this is a skepticism that you said that can you present that? So this is one of them. And now coming on to the data, Arif, can you scroll up on the data that you said when about the 4 lakh deliveries being constituted?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here when we talk about the scalability and if you said about whatever you said, so we're going to talk about that about 25% of the total deliveries are returned on a daily basis, like said by Times of India. In addition to that, 4 lakhs of these deliveries are delivered on a daily basis. And in India, if we take out 25% of this 4 lakhs, then it is 1 lakh. So 1 lakh deliveries are returned on a daily basis. Therefore, our product comes into place, and there's that's why we need this product, and that's where the problem statement is. And I would like Arf to add on if he wants to. Yeah, Arf.
Yeah, one more thing to add on. So when we observed in the last capstone semi-final
Okay,
round,
thank you.
okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was
Thank
a
you, team.
pleasure.
The next team that's going to be presented is presenting is Spark the Spirit, who are working on the mental health of youngsters during the COVID-19 pandemic and generally through various means.
Good morning, everyone.
We are giving
Good morning to all the jury members.
This time last year in ninth grade, we sat in a mental health orientation with Ria ma'am, our school counselor. As it progressed and the more we understood, something within us changed. We felt as if we understood ourselves better. We felt better about ourselves. And that is how our quest to explore and spread this understanding further started. Good morning to everyone present here. Today we, Spark the Spirit, will present to you what it is that we have been doing for the past year to make a difference. To spark a sense of self-love in you and a sense of mindfulness in the community. Over the course of the next few minutes, we'll brief you on all aspects of this project and give you a short summary of the impact we have made till now in the society we are a part of. But before that, let us first take a look at what it is exactly that we have been doing.
Now, let's start with the research question which outlines our project. It questions the possible avenue of remotely tracking certain symptoms of anxiety to prevent it to reach a point of anxiety disorders, and also have society be more open-minded about mental health.
Over the course of our project, it transformed into a little something different because of the challenges we faced and gained more ground, which formed our project statement. Our project statement thus explores, as stated, tracking anxiety with the help of virtual assistants and creating a wide social impact through a peer support club by making a generalized global model.
Here is where the social aspect of our project comes. For this aspect, we majorly focused on how to create a wide impact in our society. But we realized that in order to change society, we need to impact people closest to us first. So, this gave birth to Spark the Spirit Shiv Nadar School Gurgaon Club. We realized that through the club, we can not only educate and create awareness among students, but also equip them with tools to help others in need and destigmatize mental health in the process. The first most important part of a social aspect is the purpose of the club. Of course, we want to start a club, but what exactly are we doing with it? One of the main purposes of our club is to highlight the importance of mental health in our society and spread awareness about it. We also work to remove the negative stigma attached to mental health and its discussions. This stigma includes stereotypes about mental illnesses and fear of exclusion and discrimination towards people who suffer from mental illnesses. We not only help people who are a part of the club, but also equip them with tools to help others in need. Our club functions from certain principles, or the 3 E's as we like to call it. The first one is evaluate, which means to understand and evaluate mental health cohesively and have a holistic understanding of it. Empathize means being empathetic towards other people and having the correct tools to help them, and being empathetic towards oneself through self-care. Express means to have the free tools of creative expression, to express oneself, and one of our main activities, Espresso, is also named after it. So, what exactly happens in the session? we started our sessions, we had 5 months and 13 sessions, but what exactly did we do in them? So, first, we started conversations on day-to-day issues teenagers face, like burnouts, high expectations, etc. First, we need to realize that we also are a group of teenagers, so we can highly relate to those conversations. Then, we have short, insightful activities that help understand mental health better. Moreover, we help build in analytical and empathetic skills in our members by giving them situations to think about and equip them with the ability to help others. Lastly, we emphasize on kindness, which we consider the most prominent virtue, which is reinforced by our kindness challenges, which we give to them each week.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining the 20th session. All of you can leave as soon as you fill in the feedback forms, and that'll be the end of the session.
It was a really engaging session. Like, a lot of people were really interested to, come up and talk about their problems.
There were a lot of people this time, more than what we usually have.
Like, seriously, remember before all of these sessions, I used to actually crave human interaction that wasn't my mom.
Yeah, like, you know what, to be really honest, I was so bored before the session, but now I have at least something to do, Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Remember before these sessions how it all was, how we all started with this journey?
1 in 3 teenagers suffer from anxiety, and 80% of them have to face their monsters alone. 60% in our own country do not receive any kind of help, and the COVID situation had deteriorated our mental health. So we decided to take the matter into our hands, and then came Spark the Spirit.
We make our sessions fun because the activities we conduct are not only interesting and entertaining, but they are also self-reflective. We provide them with tools to cope with their own problems and equip them to help others.
We are teenagers just like our audience, and that is why we understand the people who join us. This is what truly makes our club impactful and allows us to make a difference in society.
Spark the Spirit is an open platform where everyone fits in and can be who they are.
Hi, my name is Harshit Rao.
Hello, my name is Hriday.
Hi, I'm Kimaya. And I took part in the club Spark the Spirit. I went there to know about mental health, as maybe I thought that I am suffering from any mental health issue.
And when I attended my first Spark the Spirit meeting, it was mainly because of my friends. But then when I started attending more sessions, I actually started believing in the cause.
Every week for the past 5 or so months, I've been looking forward to the end of the week because that's when the Spark the Spirit session happens, and it's really nice for everyone who takes part in it, since no one is excluded and everyone gets to share their feelings.
The Spark the Spirit Club has taken a really good initiative. They have created a safe space for us to talk to.
But Spark the Spirit actually taught me how to cope with these things and actually be my best self.
I think you guys are doing a great job, and please continue. And I'm looking forward to the next session.
We expanded our audience by setting up Spark the Spirit clubs by implementing our club model. We trained and mentored multiple people and provided them with the resources and structures to help facilitate the clubs in their school.
Hi, my name is Nahta. I study in Indus International School, Bangalore.
I'm Gauri from Eden School.
Hi, I'm Avni. I'm from grade 9, Shiv Nadar School, Faridabad.
Hi, my name is Sana Bhatia. I'm from Shiv Nadar School, Gurgaon.
Hi, I'm Suhana Gupta from Shiv Nadar School, Faridabad.
We are a part of Spark the Spirit.
Don't specific if you're interested in a particular topic or a particular concern. So I think that is a nicer way to take it forward.
That was so beautiful and so nostalgic right now.
I know, right? We've come like such a long way.
And we still have a long journey ahead of us. So
Yeah, we'll have to continue this.
Yeah, as the journey continues, we will continue this. But as nice as this been, guys, I think it's time to leave. So, bye, have a nice day.
Bye.
Let's take a look at the impact of the club. We've had multiple sessions till now, and we've tried to incorporate the 3 E's in all of the activities that have taken place in those sessions. While we are on the topic of activities, let us take a look at our forum. Our forum is a place on our website where people can start a conversation thread. They can share their opinions, discuss mental health, ask questions, or just talk about anything really. We literally have a separate option for people to write whatever is on their minds. We also give them an option for being anonymous on the forum, because we understand that sometimes people might not be comfortable while sharing their views. However, these posts are moderated by our club facilitators. All signed up club members can be seen on a separate page on our website, as you can see here. From a more objective viewpoint, the feedback given by our club members at the end of each session helps us see how effective those sessions were. From this, we are able to see that the people who were nervous significantly decrease, and the people who were calm and happy significantly increase. This does show that our club has been a success. We are proud to say that we have in fact been able to create an open and non-judgmental space where everyone respects and cares for each other. As our journey in the school continues, we do plan to continue with this, as our club members hold a very special place in our heart and we have formed special bonds with them.
Well, now we would like you to meet another member of our group who you may not have heard from till now. We want you to meet our little friend, Sparky. Well, he asks how I am doing today. Well, I'm doing great. He asks if I have any plans for the day. Well, yes, I do actually have plans for today. Am I excited for those plans? Not exactly. Sure, Sparky, I would love to attend those questions. Well, I see you're asking me questions about mental health. Well, why won't he? All the questions that are used in the questionnaire are based off of the PSC 35 and have gone through the counselors as well. Well, we can all see that Sparky conducts these questions. But what you do not see is that Sparky can do math. At the back end of these questions, Sparky is calculating the score. And at the end of the questionnaire, he calculates a final score. Now, when it does all the complex math calculations, which are as basic as 1 plus 1, it's still a baby after all. It suggests some resources which help improve the user's mood. These resources include soothing songs, inspirational videos, and grounding exercises. Well, thank you, Sparky. It was lovely talking to you. I am very proud of you and keep going. Good job. Anyways, let's move on. So, all the resources suggested by Sparky are also there on our website under the resources page. The resources page on our website also includes some other resources like games and psychoeducation, which provide an extension to the resources the user can already use to improve their mood. All the resources used here were curated by the members and gone through the counselors as well. Well, at the end of the talking experience with Sparky, it asked the user for their feedback on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, of course. The feedback of the user is stored in our database along with the score of the user. This way, every response for the chatbot is stored in our database.
Now, let's talk about our website and Sparky's impact. How successful and impactful have they been? So, as you can see, we have had more than 730 site sessions on our website. These are the website analytics and we are really happy with them. More than 350 unique visitors, and our average session duration is 6 minutes and 5 seconds, which is way higher than the average session duration of a normal website. So we consider our website as an engaging one. And our traffic over time has also considerably increased, as we can see. Also, our site is one of the first results on Google's when they search about us. How amazing is that? We also received a lot of love and inspiring messages from psychologists, teachers, mentors, and They really made our day. There are many more which we couldn't include, but these were really thoughtful.
Social media too has acted as a stepping stone for us to increase our interactions with the audience. Over time, we have worked on being more active on this platform, as you'll see in the next slide. As you can see here, we've made a lot of efforts to make our outreach and social media interaction as engaging as possible. Here we came up with our very own personal templates, interactive stories, and tons of other stuff. In return, our audience has responded with a lot of enthusiastic engagement. We also connected with other bigger Instagram handles and got a bit of aid from them. We've explored and extensively used major social media handles. On our account, we have updates about our sessions, interactive day-to-day stories, some quotes, and information about mental health, and so much more. Our social media aspect too acts as an open space for everyone to share their views and opinions and reach out to us in case they need any guidance or support.
Now, the three aspects of our project which make Spark the Spirit are our club, Sparky, and our social media outreach. We see the club and Sparky work together in many instances. An example from the presentation itself is one of the activities to express themselves on the forum. This helps kickstart the forum and provide a base audience to start our campaigns from. Further, we publicize our activities and sessions on social media, which has seen some new people joining the sessions as well. A few resources of the club help in promoting our social media too. Now, social media is used in publicizing our website and has helped direct some traffic there too. And this is how all the three aspects go together and promote each other and make the little Sparky there very happy.
As Sparky comes out of its shell and rises to success, we'd just like to end by saying,
Yeetus, yeetus, anxiety deleted.
Thank you, team Spark the Spirit. That was terrific. Now we can have questions from the jury.
Yeah, my question to the team, actually it's a two-part question. One, have you seen a product called Wiser, an app? Because a lot of what you are doing looks very similar to that product. And I was wondering if there is any inspiration or comparison that you have done, and what is unique about what you're trying to build. That's one. Second, when I heard the first part of your presentation, it sounded much more like an initiative where you are bringing clubs of students together to discuss and so on, whereas the second part sounded much more like an app or a product. So the difference between running a service and delivering a product, very, very fundamental difference in a business. So which one are you more interested in focusing on going forward?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, for this we need to realize that all aspects of a project are like very interlinked together. First, let's start with the club. We started with a club and it gains a more personal understanding and provides information, awareness, and helps people reach out to help and makes people more aware at the same point. While the app and the website are there to reach to a wider audience at the same time.
Should I continue on that? Right. So, first of all, I'm taking up the first part of your question. We have explored apps like Visa, Moodgate, Moodbox, and we have taken the commonalities and what's working and what's not working from them. But what's unique about our chatbot or Sparky is not the questions it is conducting. It is something we need to realize is that both the aspects are working together, as Akshant mentioned. So our club provides a more human interaction, and as we try to expand this club, we are trying to provide a more holistic understanding of mental health to our members. But we understand that the club does have limitations, and in order to address this aspect on a 24/7 basis, so that people at least have some alternative, we have our chatbot in place. That's number one. Second of all, our chatbot does. Sorry, could you just repeat the second part? I didn't catch that properly. I'll then pick up from there.
No, my second part of the question was going forward, are you primarily trying to sell a product or are you trying to run a service? And I understand, of course, you're not like running a company right now, but it's very difficult for a business to do both. So if you had to pick, what path would you choose?
Right, ma'am. So, something we had not mentioned in this presentation, but we had conducted a survey within our own school with a few parents and a few of the students, and the response we had got. So, one of the questions there was if there was an alternative, something that would let them address their anxiety, would they use it? And from those, over 30% of the people said that they would not be willing to use such a device or an app, which led us to believe that there was a sort of stigma around it. So even if the app or website just existed, we feel that without the club proceeding with its destigmatization process, the impact of the website and Sparky would not be that great. Therefore, both of them have to go hand in hand, and that's what we are aiming towards, as to increase our impact. So that's the major plan, as how we plan to continue with this.
Thank you.
Dean, could you give us some insight on the level of inputs you sought from mental health professionals?
Should I? Does anybody want to take this, or should I continue?
So we're basically connected with many counselors from our own school, including Ria ma'am, Astha ma'am, and a lot of professionals from outside the school as well, from our contacts. Because mental health is a very sensitive topic which needs to be addressed very sensitively. At every point in our project, we reach out to them, get it approved, and get feedback from them, and it's very necessary.
Not only that, but we also underwent like proper training for this because we understand that it's a very delicate and sensitive topic and it needs to be handled with the utmost perfection. So we did our research, we consulted school counselors outside, and also we underwent training.
Thank you.
Mr. Varun, sir, do you have a question for the team?
I don't know if I got this right, but while I was seeing the later part of your presentation, I saw a lot of thing being skewed towards social media, right? Now, when people, I think, who probably maybe undergoing this mental duress or the whole mental stress, don't you think social media is something which people are looking at to part ways with, to go for a social detox, as what they say?
Yes, sir. First of all, if we were not clear, that's a mistake on our part. But what we were trying to do with our social media was increase the traffic on the website, try to get people for our sessions, because that's the whole idea behind our social media pages. It's not to address their mental health through our social media pages. It is to try and get people to our sessions where we talk with them, where we conduct our kindness challenges, our conversations, all of that, and to get people onto the website. So the whole point of social media is to publicize the Spark the Spirit brand and the initiatives we are carrying forward. That's the major idea behind it.
What about the artificial intelligence? How much of dependence are you guys are on that as part of your program?
So could you just elaborate on that question a bit?
I was moderating one of the shows where we had sponsored last week. It's called Local Teens, and one of the teams came up with something exactly what you guys are doing, but they made use of this whole artificial intelligence to map out issues, map out problems. I'm not technologically so savvy myself, but just trying to understand that I'm sure AI plays a lot of importance and a lot of a big role in this whole issue that you guys are doing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, uh, I'll just cover one part, and then maybe if Akshant has something to add, he can continue on with it. Uh, for as of the time being, our technological aspect is just Sparky, the chatbot, and the majority of the work that is going behind it is the score calculations, as it's based off a medically certified checklist. Aside from that, we are not focusing on anything else, though as our initiative continues, even after this colloquium and everything goes according to plan, that is something that we'll definitely look to explore and understand further to maybe increase the impact of what we are doing and increase the scale of what we are doing, get it to a more finessed manner.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, thank you, team. Next, I invite Team Safe, who has developed a solution to the problem of sitting in public spaces, which has become a huge hassle and danger during the pandemic. Team Safe, over to you.
This is the current state of our country. Riddled with disease, we find it hard to grasp the reality. Whether it be the news or school, everything that used to be normal now seems unsafe. Change. What do you want to change? Maybe it's going back to school, or maybe even go out to restaurants. For some people, going out is the only option. And as we integrate to life outside our homes, there is a significant need for tools that can make our environment safer and cleaner. With the same mindset and many thoughts about how to make life easier for people around us, our team decided to move forward with creating a clean, hygienic area to rest and sit down. Our project, the Safe Bench, is a rotating UV-based sanitizing bench. Especially during this pandemic, the importance of diminishing direct contact with unclean surfaces is very high, and hence we decided to do something about it. Our journey has been a significant one. We started brainstorming around February. At that point, we had many different and unique ideas. When we all were forced to stay at home, this particular idea came forward as something that could impact the current scenario of our surroundings, as well as be beneficial in combating other communicable diseases. Organizations like WHO have also released guidelines during this COVID pandemic
like the Avoid 3 C's guidelines. With this project, we are trying to solve the problem of close contact. Although all age groups are at risk of being affected by COVID-19, older people and children face more significant risk due to their weaker immune system. We are focusing to solve this difficulty for older people and children. Stage 1. We started with simple pen paper drawings. We had many ideas of how to design a bench and also how it would work. Integrating a rotation system with a seating surface seemed hard at first, but after several tries, we were able to come up with a basic idea of what we want to achieve. Stage 2. From that, we experimented with various softwares like Blender to create animated prototypes. These animated representations consisted of a basic explanation of our rotation mechanisms. We had multiple animated prototypes for different design and rotation ideas. Stage 3. Recently we started working on a real-life prototype. This prototype is made of wood. We will make the final product out of PVC, but due to our inability to go regularly to school and buy the proper materials, this is what we could come up with. In the coming days, we will build the bench out of PVC and make the adequate changes required.
Following, we have a short demo of how our model will work. When a person gets up from the bench, the ultrasonic sensor will sense that no one is sitting, and hence the UV light will turn on. To make sure that people know that the sanitization is in process, we will make an LED glow and also a buzzer will produce sound for 30 seconds. And in this time, the bench will get sanitized. The next person can rotate the bench and sit when the light and buzzer switches off. This is also helping us save energy by switching off the UV light when not in use. To program these components, we have used Arduino.
This bench will have a UV light below the seating surface to sanitize the surface as it rotates. We will add a wedge below the UV light to achieve two things. 1. Make sure humans don't come in contact with the light, and 2. Make sure that all the light travels upwards towards the bench and there is enough coverage to sanitize the whole surface. There will be a manual gear system installed to rotate the bench, and to minimize contact, the bench will rotate via a foot-operated pedal. There are many advantages of a bench, some of them being less human effort. People are unwilling to sit on benches as they fear the benches might be infected, especially in hospitals. The continuous activity of bending and disinfecting the bench can also lead to the cleaning staff getting infected themselves and getting exhausted. Less worries. There is a lot of stress and worry associated with sitting on a bench just because we are not sure whether the bench was actually sanitized or not. With our bench, this worry and panic can be decreased. Battling communicable diseases. Even if there are possibilities that COVID-19 would not be there in the longer run, there are still many diseases which can infect people through contact. Our bench can help prevent other diseases caused by direct and indirect contact, such as viral conjunctivitis, strain influenza, and more. Therefore, to promote a cleaner and safer environment, especially for the older and younger members of our population, this bench plays an important role. Now we are going to talk about the material of the bench. We chose PVC-C as the material for this bench as it is most importantly resistant to UV radiation and hence cannot be damaged. It is also low maintenance and can withstand different temperatures. UV radiation is commonly used to sanitize various surfaces around the house and in hospitals as well. We decided to use UVC as it has no residual effect and is also the most widely used form of UV light. It takes approximately 30 seconds to sanitize the bench using UVC. Without any doubt, this bench carries many new technological components which people might not be familiar with. Hence, to make people more aware about the functioning of the safe bench, we are also planning to set up an informative board mentioning how to use the bench and precautions while using it. This can help prevent any damage to the bench or any injury caused while using the bench. We will place this informative board in regional as well as sign language depending on where it will be placed. We are currently working towards the final product in which we are also going to place a QR code at the side of the bench which when scanned will redirect us to a site. This site will show us when the bench was last sanitized and you can also control the rotation of the bench through this site, thus making it automized. To see our work in progress, you can scan the QR code right now. Keeping in mind that some people might not have access to a smartphone, we have added a manual pedal which can rotate the bench. We believe this small initiative from students of Shiv Nadar School, Faridabad, will create a big impact on our ever-changing world and soon make it a safer space for all.
Thank you, Team Safe, for that innovative solution. Now let's see the questions which the judges have for the team.
No questions from my side. Thank you.
Very simple and thoughtful. We just need to see how the placement of these benches will be across the parks because we all know the nuances that comes along. We see stray dogs fluffing around there, we see birds coming sitting there, we at times see, I mean, I shouldn't be saying, but we also see the beggars using it as a bed. So I mean, these are some attached nuances, but a simple and a thoughtful idea.
And if I may just add a quick question for the team, is there any potential customer like a hospital or someone whom you have spoken with to understand what they think about it or what could be some uses or challenges?
Ma'am, so we did talk to people, and one thing which we came up with was that there should be a support in this. So we are actually trying to work on that.
And to add to that, to Sir's question as well, um, so this bench, our main idea is to put it in hospitals because that is someplace where this product will be needed even after COVID. So we are working, and even in parks, obviously there will need to be more things that need to be added. And for ma'am's question, we have talked to people we know in our own surroundings to understand what they would want in a bench which can sanitize itself. So we have talked to potential customers.
To also add to this, we actually also sent a survey to our schools and family, relatives, everybody whom we know, and we got to know a lot of problems. And in the final prototype, we actually tried to solve these problems and incorporate their points and ideas also. Okay, thank you, team. Now we have our sixth team, Whistlers, presenting their work. They have fashioned an outdoor game for the visually impaired to enhance their sensory and physical skills.
Good afternoon, Julie.
Good morning to one and all present here today. I am Aditya Singh and along with my group, I will be presenting to you our presentation for Capstone 2020. My group consists of Arnav, Ayan, Samya, Samaya and Swaya. Recall playing that game, blindfolding ourselves in order to crack a pot overhead. It was fun but challenging on its own because of the lack of the sense of sight. Continuing on that, often we classify people as visually able or visually impaired. We either treat visually impaired with special treatment or we call them proficient in their use of 4 senses other than the regular 5. During our interaction with them, we discovered that the lack of outdoor activities for these students had been a primary challenge. They feel the necessity for a physical exercise to keep them engaged and support their growth. Visual impairment alludes to loss of vision or low vision conditions of an individual, which can't be revived by traditional ophthalmic treatment, leading to social, physical, and emotional issues. The visually impaired experience a significant impact on the quality of their lives, which may vary with age. These individuals may suffer delayed development of gross and fine motor skills as well as perception. The mobility and emotional domain with respect to quality of life reduced in these individuals. One potential reason for restricted participation in physical activities is the fear of falling, associated with loss of vision and consequent poor balance. We aim to develop an outdoor-based activity game which can help enhance the physical and sensory skills of the visually impaired children. Here's a video that will give you insight on our learnings about the problems faced by the visually impaired.
Honestly, what would you prefer to play indoor or outdoor games or sports?
For me personally, if you talk, I would prefer outdoor.
मुझे भी आउटडोर गेम्स अच्छे लगते हैं और रनिंग वाले गेम्स होते हैं वो मुझे बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं और
Do you guys like problem solving games?
Yeah, we love problem solving games.
प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग गेम्स की बात है तो खेलना अच्छा लगता है.
I also like to play problem solving games.
See, in our childhood, we were not left free to do whatever we like. So, okay, so something which was not, something which did not came handy for you. So you obviously like to take adventures, take challenges. So this is, I think, the main reason why we are inclined towards outdoor games.
We get to know other people, and like by that we are
as well.
Yeah. So, and secondly, like as Cynthia said, that in our childhood we are not being able to explore what we desired to. So, but when we get the opportunity to play the outdoor games, then not only we make friends, but also we enhance our physique. So that is also one of the important thing that an individual like to have.
And also there is this sense of inclusion, team spirit, if you say.
Majorly, the games are played by males. The point of our maze is to make a game which both genders can play equally and also get a physical exercise along with adapting, faster adaptive. If we're going to be making a project for the visually impaired, it should be for all the visually impaired and not just a select few. Which is the reason why we have chosen to make a maze game. It is simple and it does not require any separation between the two genders. It is not too physically active, but it's not absolutely sitting down and playing a game of chess kind either.
So make it adventurous, make it interesting, of course, then it obviously both the...
Very secure, like it's a very
Other than
closed
that, I don't
space.
think you get more secure than this. It's so on the ground. There is only a few pieces of wood and rubber everywhere. There is no falling hazard. So yes, I feel like you don't get more secure than this.
Okay.
There is no such climbing or something like that.
No, there's not much.
There is, but not very
Not
steep or
too
anything,
much.
and you have a step.
Not too steep, not too much. Yes.
And you have a step. As of now, you feel like this is a good idea and we can make it.
Yeah, good idea. That, as I said, if it's implemented properly, then of course it can be a game changer, especially for kids. Because unlike other people have toys to play, of course, not many toys are accessible as well, if I say so. They purely they mostly rely on vision. Not many toys which are there in the market, that rely on tactile or sound.
Visually impaired people face a lot of problems, a lot of challenges while crossing the road. And this has even increased in the pandemic. And second was, I was talking about the infrastructural problems. So there are, so one thing I forgot to mention earlier, in infrastructural problems we have, tactile paths are missing. And also while, using the lift, so there are places where braille symbols are not there. Like you can introduce, what should I say, an illusionary situation you can say, where you can introduce like these problems to visually impaired people along with the solutions required to solve these problems, so that from the childhood itself they have an idea how to approach things in their future.
मुझे लगता है कि ये गेम बहुत अच्छा रहेगा और आपका जो ये आइडिया है वो बहुत अच्छा है। ये मेज गेम जो है तो इसे खेल सकते हैं।
Our solution includes a unique maze game that can keep the visually impaired children entertained, including obstacles that can help simulate an authentic experience, providing a thrilling atmosphere and will be a lot of fun and prepares the children for moving around in the outside world.
The visually impaired act in accordance to their tactile systems and hearing abilities. The tactile system refers to the sense of touch. This includes deep pressure, light touch, temperature, texture, vibration, and pain. It has two main functions, protection and discrimination. We intend on using these elements in our prototype to help exercise the hearing abilities and tactile systems of people with visual impairments. Here we have a 2D model that we designed for our proposed solution. In this model, the game consists of various sounds and obstacles. The motive was to improve the physical strength and hearing abilities of people with visual impairments. However, this model lacked the basic tactile system structure that is essential for all people with visual impairment. This is the final prototype for our maze. It is made up of Lego-like blocks and foam-coated mats. These constitute the basic design. It also consists of various elements such as obstacles that can help simulate real-life experiences and arrows that can help in guiding the visually impaired. As we can see from the top view here, there are two entrance points to the maze. Two players will enter the maze at the same amount of time, and the first person to reach the finish line wins. This is the first entry point. As we have talked about before, the walls of this maze are made up of Lego-like blocks and the floor is made up of foam-coated mats. We have added some yellow rubber arrows. These arrows are tactile and their main purpose is to help the visually impaired in case they get confused and to guide them through the maze. These arrows are located in areas where the visually impaired might need help. Here we can see the first obstacle added to the maze, some train tracks. We will be playing train sound effects in order to simulate the real-life experience. The player will have to closely listen to the sound of the train and accordingly move or stop. The walls, which are made up of Lego blocks, are sturdy and modular. As for the Lego blocks, we don't need many tools in order to create them. They are stackable and they can be easily customized to destroy and recreate new mazes. The floors of this maze are made up of foam-coated mats. The main reason behind this is to prevent injuries in case the visually impaired students fall down. Here we can see the next obstacle in the maze, a bridge. This bridge is going to be made up of wood in a cylindrical shape. It is going to simulate the real-life experience of walking on a bridge, as we're also going to be playing sound effects of people walking and footsteps. This will be a fun and authentic experience, and it will be a little bit of an adventure for the visually impaired students. It will also help in enhancing their sensory, motor, and tactile skills. Here we can see a traffic light. When the players are walking near this, we're going to have sound effects telling them if they should stop, wait, or go. Here we can see the buzzer, which is the final stage of this maze. The first player to tap this buzzer is going to be crowned as winner of the maze. As we can see, the buzzer is on top of a wooden podium. The players will have to climb up it. It will also help in enhancing their motor skills as they'll have to climb up some stairs. And once again, the first to press the buzzer wins. We would like to end off on a positive note by hoping that this project helps improve the lives of visually impaired students. This was Team Vizless's idea for Capstone 2020. There are quite a few reasons influencing our decision to use Lego blocks. For starters, these blocks are modular and stable. They won't move or twitch around much during the construction process and will not ruin the structure of the final maze. It requires no tools and is fully customizable. We can completely change the positions of these blocks to create new mazes without having to buy new materials.
We aim to deploy the prototype at AICB and NAB, enabling the children to play the game more independently and developing their sensory and motor skills. The age group that we anticipate to indulge in is from 7 to 15 years, as they are in their developing and learning stage. The benefit of aiding students to build a higher tolerance for recreational games will help expand their sensory skills, motor skills, and cognitive skills.
The modular maze will decrease the cost of construction of the game, as it can be dismantled and a new maze can be created. We wish to deploy at least 5 samples of the maze, which can be dismantled and recreated. We have tried partnering with these organizations in order to invest in the project, as it can be used as a tool in developing the sensory and tactile skills of the visually impaired students, along with increased physical activity.
We have strategically placed the obstacles in the game, leading to brainstorming and skill development of the visually impaired, in a fun-filled and adventurous manner. The sound and tactile-based obstacles will help them use their sensory skills, especially through finding the route. With this growing era, the visually impaired children have limited physical activity. This game aims to systematically review physical activity interventions for those with impaired vision and to assess the effectiveness of the obstacles in improving physical and mental well-being of the visually impaired.
This learning journey has indeed been memorable. We would like to express our gratitude towards the visually impaired students who have been our guiding light throughout this entire journey, especially because it was in the middle of a pandemic. Sometimes they don't want to be treated like they are exceptional. Their only wish is to be treated as equal. We recognize the positive influences and moral guidance that we have received and value the learnings imparted. We would also like to thank the school and teachers
for being supportive of us in every step of the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Whistlers, for the wonderful presentation. Now let's see if the judges have questions for them.
What's the cost of one block, or let's say one maze, so to speak?
Yeah, just 1 minute, I'll present my screen.
No, you can just say it. It's okay.
It's 100 rupees per block.
No, you had mentioned that there are five blocks which you have already put together, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. 5 prototypes of a
Yeah,
maze, yeah.
five prototypes. So one prototype is for what cost?
It can either be 100 rupees or it can be 3D printed.
Oh, okay.
In order to cut down on the budget, we have decided to 3D print it. However,
Right.
in case we require a quick solution, then purchasing might also be a good option.
Okay.
Could you please elaborate on the level of involvement of a visually impaired person at every stage of development of this maze?
It was a huge, very important. Their input was what helped us create the maze as it is right now. We were originally thinking of a one-person maze, only one person can enter at a time, and there will be not much competition in order to make the game safe. Not to mention, we had also not added any tactile, what's the word? Tactile senses. No use for the tactile senses. So we decided after a very enlightening conversation with the visually impaired, we decided that we should most probably add tactile senses and make it a competition between two different people.
May I
Not
add
to mention
something?
that they also helped us in many other things, such as making the maze adventurous, making it interesting, and they had
May I
also
add to
told us
that?
that they have a very strong memory. So that's why we decided to make it out of a modular material, such as the Lego blocks. So it's not a huge cost for one maze, but it's a huge cost for about 10 different mazes or 5 different mazes.
May I add something? So originally, we had actually planned to make some sort of a maze in an app. That was our original idea. But then we realized that, like as we talked about before, visually impaired people normally do not take part in physical activities, and when they do, it's mainly sports. And like Aditya said before, not a lot of girls participate. So we wanted to make something that could be equal for both genders, while also helping them get prepared for the real world and also giving them physical exercise. So we chose to make a physical maze.
Uh, if, if I also may say something, for one, there not many tools are available for the visually impaired kids, and as for the players, if they want, they can also enter in pairs and play the maze.
Yeah, a question here. You mentioned that that because the maze is modular, you can make multiple mazes, and that's a good point. Is there even greater modularity where this can be designed into other kinds of games for the visually impaired without changing the components too much? Because at the end of the day, it is a single game which is going into a maze and coming
Um,
out.
it is a maze, and it's not going into the maze. It's a competition. In the middle, there shall be a buzzer, which is to be pressed by and so it's a competition. However, it can also be turned into a co-op game or a single-player game, with there being obstacles and the buzzer being placed at the entrance of the opposite side. Player has to enter from one side. Entrance is the other way. So yes, it can be customized, but not too much.
Sure.
Thank you, Wistless. Now we'll move on to the last team, Team Postura, who will be giving their presentation. They have designed a product which alerts individuals of their bad posture and also provides soothing massage to the users.
Good afternoon to all the jury members.
Good afternoon.
Before starting off with our presentation, here we have a short video.
Sitting can be a nice break from a busy day, but considering many of us spend our entire workday at a desk, followed by downtime in front of a computer or TV, one has to wonder, how exactly is sitting affecting your body? The answer is pretty shocking. As soon as you sit down, the electrical activity in your muscles drops significantly and your calorie burning rate plummets to about 1 calorie per minute. After only 3 hours of sitting, there's a 50% drop in artery dilation and as a result a decrease in blood flow. Sit for 24 hours straight and the insulin in your body loses nearly 40% of its ability to uptake glucose, which increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. Think your brain is more important than your body? Physical movement not only helps pump blood and oxygen to the brain, but also sends mood-enhancing hormones. When we don't move, brain function begins to slow down.
Sitting badly can kill you. Sure, you're probably rolling your eyes. Yeah, you're aware that a sedentary lifestyle isn't good for you and you should get frequent exercise. Very true. But right now I'm discussing posture. Slouching is bad for you. The average human head weighs about 10 pounds. When you hunch or roll your shoulder in and hang your head forward while sitting, you're shifting that weight onto your upper back and spine. Some researchers think that for every inch you hold your head forward, you add 10 pounds of pressure on your spine. So if you're slouching forward 2 inches, your neck and upper back has to work extra hard to hold up an extra 20 pounds. When you relax that pressure, such as by leaving your desk after a long day of work, your muscles spasm and cause nasty tension headaches. Experiencing bad posture for several hours a day on a regular basis causes all sorts of chronic conditions, such as insomnia due to random body aches, pinched nerves, slipped discs, constipation, poor balance, impaired organ function, and the increased risk of developing arthritis due to abnormal wear and tear on bone surfaces.
10 million. Now what do you think this number means? Actually, this is the number of lower back pain cases experienced in India per year.
Keeping in mind the dire consequences of an incorrect posture, we present to you Team Postura with the aim of giving you a better posture and a healthier lifestyle. Our team researched if we could do something to improve people's posture while they work from home and discovered that we can do so by creating a portable, wearable and cost-effective device that can help the user correct their posture while they're seated.
To gather more information, we conducted an online survey to understand the people's expectations from a product. 28.4% of the participants are willing to buy a product, which is a major plus point. In the survey, we also got to know that a majority, which is 36.2% of the people, experience pain or discomfort in the lumbar region, which is the lower back. We have placed our transducers accordingly.
Professional advice. We talked to a well-known orthopedist and physiotherapist, Dr. Brijesh Sivaj, who has his own clinic in Gurgaon. He introduced us to various new topics such as juncture points and trigger points. He also told us that he will provide us a medical certificate and he helped us finalize our massage placements. Now you may ask, what are the juncture points and trigger points? Well, juncture points are the areas on the back where people experience pain. These are the common areas. Trigger points, on the other hand, are sensitive spots on the tissue on your lower back where people experience pain. Now, these trigger points are also known as micrograms, and these points are our ideal locations for sensor placements.
Our team proposed a solution and made the following plan. First, we'll make a 3D design of the prototype. Second, we'll make a small-scale model. Third, we'll code and program the electrical components. Fourth, we'll finalize the placement of massagers and the sensors and get medical clearance for the same. Fifth, we'll fit the components into the foam and make a first prototype. Sixth, we'll improve our product based on the feedback that we receive.
Designing. The first two images that you can see are our 2D sketches for our seat cushion and our back support. These two sketches were hand-drawn. The third design that you see is our final 3D model. And this image is our perspective view.
To finish our final prototype, we came up with 3 stages of work. First, to finish the circuit work. Next, to contact manufacturers and get a suitable cushion. And lastly, to assemble the cushion as well as the circuit to finish our product. On screen, you can see us doing the circuit work. Some components like the Arduino we got from school. Others like the mass motors we had to order ourselves. With the help of our mentors, we got onto a video call and finished this work. As mentioned, we contacted the manufacturers at Metron Industries to finish the final product. Our group also created a mobile app that the user can directly use to control the massagers in case they're feeling stress in any areas of their lower back. On screen, you can see the pictures of the close-up of the circuit, the finished prototype, as well as the mobile app. Now, before I move on, I would like to explain how our product works. Inside, we have an MPU6050 sensor that has an accelerometer and a gyroscope. Together, these can calculate the angle at which the user is sitting. If this angle deviates from the ideal posture angle, then the device vibrates to alert the user to correct their posture. As soon as they correct their own posture, the vibrations stop.
As mentioned earlier, we got a medical certificate from Dr. Brijesh Sivaj clearing us for a sensor placement. You may peruse through this document.
When we started this project, our group also created an Instagram account called postura.in. Here, we have a lot of followers who keep track of our progress. We've also been answering queries and questions in our comment section.
What sets us apart? In Postura, we have a combination of both posture correcting and massaging to reduce stress. Our product is also overall very cost effective and economical.
Here we have a live demonstration of our product. When I plug in the power bank, the product starts. As you may see, since the device is tilted, the transducers are vibrating to alert the user that their posture is incorrect. As soon as it straightens, these vibrations stop. From a side angle, it will look something like this. When the user slouches, the device starts vibrating. As soon as the posture is correct, the vibrations stop. Next, we come to the costing. If you may look on the screen, we have a small table wherein we have individually listed all of our materials along with their costs. At the moment, our total cost is Rs 3,420. For the functionality that our product offers, this is quite cost effective. You may also note that we expect this cost to go down once we start mass producing.
What's left for us to do is to tie up with manufacturers,
to consult a marketing expert,
set up a manufacturing unit,
and finally start mass production.
liked the product. It was very nice. I could feel the vibrations very strongly when I had slouched. My body was in a slouch motion. And when I was at a 90-degree, it stopped. Even when I was tilting, the vibrations were there. But somehow, only suggestion is the product is overall very nice. Only suggestion is maybe at certain points I wanted vibrations a little more stronger. Otherwise, it's perfectly fine. Thank you.
This product is very effective. I could actually feel the vibrations, and when I slouched, the vibrations made me realize to come back to the straight position. So it's really good and it really helps. Thank you.
On behalf of Team Postura, I would like to thank you all for going through our presentation. We hope you liked our idea. Thank you.
Team Postura, thank you for your innovative ideas. The floor is now open for questions by the jury.
Team Postura, have you thought of mobility of this product? Something that I can take along with me if I travel, something that can perhaps be used on an airline seat or anywhere I go. Have you thought of a product that works battery versus electricity? Any thoughts?
Sir, can you please repeat your question? Your voice wasn't audible.
Is this better? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question is, this product is wonderful for an office chair or a home working desk. What if I want to carry it with me and perhaps use it on an airline seat for a long flight, perhaps use it somewhere else in another venue? Have you given thought to a battery model versus an electric model?
Yes, sir. So, our product is like there are two parts to it: the back support, and there's the seat cushion. And both of them are separately, like they're not attached together. So you can use them separately too. So suppose you're traveling in an airplane and you don't want the seat cushion because you already have an airplane cushion there. You can use the back support as it is while traveling on an airplane. And since it's easily detachable, you can pack them separately in a suitcase and carry it.
Thank you.
Yeah, quick input to that. So yeah, very, very well thought through and great execution. Very much looking forward to buy the product. My very quick input to you would be a more detailed benchmarking with other such products might be a useful next step. And you did cover that a little bit in your presentation on why your product is unique. But maybe a bit more of a detailed benchmarking might be useful as you take this forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We will definitely do that.
I had a similar feedback to what Ramyaji said. My question was revolving around the same subject, but I didn't realize that the impact of sitting for hours and hours on a chair can lead to such detrimental effects. Considering the whole Zoom world has brought us all sitting on chairs, I don't know what's happened to all our backs.
Yeah, it is a very common concern because we all often forget about our postures while we are working for long hours. So, we decided to work on this problem because we can see it everywhere very clearly.
Good.
Sparsh would like to show you a live demonstration of how our product is working. I would request Sparsh's screen to be pinned.
Good afternoon. Am I audible? So I'm just going to give a short demonstration of how our product works. What we do here is we plug in the power bank that powers the entire product. And then there's a small 9-volt battery that supports the Arduino.
As soon as these are connected, you may notice that the motor start vibrating because this device is tilted. When I put this device forward, it stops tilting, and it stops tilting, then the vibration stops because the posture is correct. Again, if you see, if I slouch it forward, the vibrations will be audible again because the posture is incorrect. Later, when I straighten it, the vibrations stop. I also have a mobile app here with me that the user can use to directly control the massagers. Give me a moment to connect this. When I connect my Postura app, you may notice that there is a massage on button right at the bottom. When we press that, the vibrators stop. The vibrators start, and as soon as I press massage stop, these vibrators stop vibrating. Thus, our product can massage as well as provide vibrations. Are there any other questions for us?
I don't think the jury has any other questions, I think. So let's proceed. Let's end the presentations with a quick audience poll. We'll be running the polls for each team separately. You're all requested to present your opinion in the form of a yes or no. So starting with the first team, Perpendidrop. Do you think Perpendidrop deserves to be the winner of Colloquium? Just to refresh your memory, Perpendidrop was a team which has designed a semi-autonomous product to nurture the plants that one can grow for consumption. And we'll be starting the polling shortly.
Yeah, Jia, we've recorded the numbers. You can move to the next one.
Okay, the next team was Suid Squad. Do you think Suid Squad should be the victors of Colloquium? I think they're getting a lot of positive responses.
Yeah, we have recorded the response.
And the third team was E-Sanitarios. Please respond. Do you think they should be the winners? E-Sanitarios created a product which effectively sanitizes online delivery parcels.
We've recorded the responses here.
Let's move on to the fourth team, Spark the Spirit. They were proactively working on the mental health of young students.
We have recorded the responses here.
And the fifth team, Safe, which created a bench which solves the problem of sitting in public spaces.
We've recorded the response.
And the sixth team, Whistless, which fashioned an outdoor game for the visually impaired. Do you think they should be the winners?
We've recorded the response.
And now we have the last team, Postura, who designed a product which alerts individuals of their bad posture.
We've recorded the responses.
Thank you, judges, and thank you to all the teams for the wonderful presentations. We will now take a 15 minutes break to let the jury contemplate and compile the results. You can take this time to interact with the 7 teams present in the arena by clicking on the arena option on the left corner of your screen.